Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to DRS Season 12, Round 8 here in Monaco. Low on numbers on drivers tonight, which you can understand, bank holiday plus Monaco. I don't particularly like driving Monaco, but love commentating on it. Plenty of action for us watching. Frustrating for some drivers, glory for another, but we've got 14 drivers on the grid tonight. Looking forward to this. We're short qualifier, 14 drivers there, as you can see on the left hand side, and then we've got 38 laps of this famous Monaco street circuit. Been on the F1 calendar 82 times since it came on the calendar in 1929. Ayrton Senna's got 6 wins and McLaren 16. And each lap is 3.337 kilometres or 2.074 miles. 100% race, which is 78 laps, is 161.734 kilometres. Miles, actually. Miles, not kilometres. Miles. Anyway, we'll have a look as cars start coming out on the circuit. All on the soft tyre. I did a commentary on a race not so long back where they had to use all 5 tyre compounds. Quite fun. They used intermediates and wets the first 4 or 5 laps, and it decided to rain. I think it was 22 laps in, and everybody used all the wet tyres, which was quite funny to watch. But a few cars out on track. First car out is a McLaren. And that is the championship leader, Jax Daniels. Is it validated? It is out lap, but it doesn't really matter on an out lap. And I think penalties could be deciding option tonight because the track limit's quite tight. Jax will be the first one out on track to set a hot lap. There's a Sauber not far behind him. That will be Marvski, but we'll stay on Jax. Going round Monseigneur into Casino, turn 4, and turn 5, which is Hoot, onto turn 6, the Grand Hotel, hairpin, onto 7, which is Bass, 8 is Portier, and then into the tunnel, and in there that is turn 9, as you can see there. Now turn 13, turn 12 to the back, and turn 13, 14, onto 15, 16, and then Rascos turn 17, 18 and 19, and then it's pedal to the metal, and that's his first hot lap, which is a 1:09.240. On to Marvski then, 1:12.7 is split. Oh, a 1:10.2 for Terry's Reds and the Williams. Missed Terry, sorry Terry mate. And then we had Project Ty 1:10.6 and Saint C a 1:11.8. That's Alex Pixie. A 1:11.658 for Alex. He's just hurtling round Rasgas now. That is Senna. That's a 1:11. Oh, 1:12.2 for Senna. Nico Rouge 1:12.4. Sloth's done a 1:10.557. Missed that Sloth. Nice lap from Sloth. Late Broom just going under the tunnel straight across for DRS Swanton. He was Marski coming across now, and that looks good. A 1:10.5 for Marski, P3. Swanton just coming around now after invalidating his outlap. Late Bloomer's just coming through down the final home straight. This looks a decent time as well. That's a 1:11.2, P7 for Late Bloomer. I'll go on with DRS Swanton coming around Casino turn 4 and on to Wheat turn 5. Turn 6, the Grand Hotel hairpin, and then on to 7, which is Bass. 48 here at turn 8, and then on to Tunnel, which has... Hello, Sophie. Are you well? Hope you are, dear. Been a while. Around the Norvell chicane and on to turn 13, 14, 15 and 16, and on to Rasgas. Looks a decent time, this does. It looks a very decent time to me. And it's a 1:09.5 to P4. Thought it was a lot quicker than that, to be honest with you. Purple sector there for Al Newt. Just comes underneath into the tunnel. Chat, we are looking forward to F125. I'm looking forward to it, really am. I can't be any worse than I am on F124, so Al Newt then coming in with a 1:11.5. That's P10 for Al Newt. Right, who else are we on now? There's a Sauber coming round Rasgas now. That's Marski, who's invalidated. Followed by Alpine of Swanton. It's going in the pits. Another Sauber coming round now. And that's Marski. No, it's Late Bloomer actually, who's invalidated. I might be saying that a lot during practice tonight, qualified tonight, invalidated. There's a Red Bull of some description, and it's Lord Coleman in the Red Bull. Pedal to the metal, and this also looks quite good, and it's a 1:10.2. That's P5 for Lord Coleman. Aston Martin coming around now, and that's Al Newt in the Aston Martin. Nicely around turn 18 and 19. This is a good time, a 1:09.8 P5. Oh, I thought that deserved better as well from Al. Validation from Saintsy. Terry's Reds in tonight. Reserving for the Williams. Sorry for yawning. It's an outlap, so we'll go on to him when he comes round to set his time. Senate is on an outlap. Looking quick tonight is the Visa Cash App Racing Bull. Lord Coleman then 6/10 down and goes in the pits. Invalidation from Nico Rouge. McLaren following Nico is Projectile with a 1:10.6. That's P10 for the McLaren. DRS sign going on his fast lap now. Got Ferrari coming around into sector 3, and that is Alex Pixie on an outlap. Terry's Reds, we've got to stay on board with Terry's Reds. Not using any ERS, so it could be an in-lap for the Williams. Actually, no, he's going, yeah, nicely round the final bend there for Terry's Reds. And that's a nice P7, a 1:10.75. Oh, not quicker than his quickest time, like. CNC in P9, 1:10.5. We've got a right gaggle coming through now, and that was Senate 1:09.1. Most temporary pole does Senate. Great lap from the Sloth as well, a 1:09.467. McLaren's coming over now. That's Jax Daniels, a 1:08.738 for Jax. Takes that provisional pole position from Senna. We've got 7 minutes left, so plenty of time for Senna to try and regain that provisional pole. Late bloomer, 1:10.969. That's P11 for Salbert, a bit quicker, which is always nice to hear. 4/10 up is Alex Pixie on his original lap of 1:11.6, and that's a 1:10.8. Good half a second, but only up to P11 is Alex. Deserve better than that, I think. Saintsy then, 1:10.1, P6 for the Mercedes. The Haas coming around that final corner now, and that's the Sloth. Just a little bit down. Is split, but it's a 1:09.452. Quicker, P3 for the Sloth. The Sauber just gone over the line now, and that was Marvsky, currently in P5. And we've got another McLaren coming over, and that was Project Ty, down on his time, but on another lap. Another McLaren, that's Jax Daniels on an in lap. Don't know what happened there. DRS Swanton in P2 at the moment, 1:08.957. We missed that, sorry Alex mate. Splits Jax and Senna, just 2/10 behind provisional pole Jax Daniels. Aston Martin coming around now, and that is Al Newt on an out lap. Here comes Terry's Reds, 2/10 up is Terry's Reds, currently in P9, a 1:10.2. What can the Williams do? And it's a 1:99 P7 for Terry's Reds. Got Salbert coming around. 2:16 now, that's invalidated. It's Marvsky. We've got a McLaren hurtling after him as well, and that is Project I, currently slightly up on his 1:10.6. Gets a bit slipstream from the Salbert. Well, it's a 1:10.3, 3/10 quicker, but still P10 for Late Bloomer. Salbert of Late Bloomer then, sorry, Project I, sorry, not Late Bloomer before. 1:10.9 for Late Bloomer, slightly slower than his original time. We've got Mercedes DR Swanton, 1:08.957. His current time in P2. Aston Martin coming around and going in the pits. No, it's Al Newt. Al Newt, 1:09.8. So he's slower than that, so it'll be on a out lap without. Nicolette, yeah. My thoughts exactly. Quite looking forward to see what it's like. The build up and the preview I've seen do look quite good. Al Newt's purple sector 1 will stay on board without as he comes round into the tunnel. Aston Martin going under the tunnel now and around turn 9. Around the Novelle chicane. Into turn 13. Oh, we missed DRS Swanton's pole. Sorry, Alex. 1:08.734. That's 4,000 per second quicker than Jax. Aston Martin coming over now, and that is Al Newt with a 1:09.538 P5 for Al. Lord Coleman coming around the final bends, currently in P9 with a 110.2. Nicely around the final corner. And this could be quicker than 110.2, and it is. It's 196, P6 for Lord Coleman. Ferrari coming around the Nouvelle chicane is DRS Syme. 112.4 is Syme's best time. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. So Ferrari looking quick coming around this sector 3. Into Rasgas, turn 17, 18 and 19. And it's pedal to the metal. 112.4. He's beat that. It's a 111.0. P13 for DRS Syme. There's a Haas coming over quite quick now, and that's the Sloth on an outlap. Senna on an outlap. Mercedes coming around sector 3 is Saintsy on an outlap. Going to be hectic now for this final few minutes of qualifying. Lord Coleman is on an inlap, having just set P6 time. But he is losing a bit of fuel, making that car roll a little bit lighter. 111.2 at that time, 2 seconds slower than his quickest. Terry's Reds on a fast lap now. Currently P8 is Terry, and then we've got Project Ty on an outlap. We've got the other McLaren and Marvsky. Oh no, just sorry, Jax Daniels has validated his outlap. That's of the Sloth in P4 with a 109.452. Going to push it with this one. That's a 109.454. 2 tenths slower. 2,000 slower, sorry. Syme then 111.018. Oh, and Senna with a 108.716. Goes quickest. Senna on provisional pole, and there's not long left to go. It looks like pole is between the top 3. Senna, Swanson and Jax Daniels are on board with Saintsy. Currently P9. Oh, he's not going to trouble that time. Invalidation for Nico. Here comes Project Ty. 110.3. He's fastest, nowhere near it with that one. And then the Ferrari of Alex Pixie, quicker, P12 for Alex. We've got the Haas of the Sloth going around the final corner, currently 109.4. I don't think he's going to trouble it with this, is he? No. Second slower. Ferrari now is, we missed that. Got Syme up to P10. Quite a few coming over now, we're losing. Oh, Al Newt's invalidated. We've got Mercedes at Saintsy, 3 tenths down, so it could be pits for Saintsy. No, going for it. See if we can make up them loose tenths. We're out of time, and that's a 110.5 for Saintsy, slower than his fastest. Who's this? Nico Rouge invalidation. McLaren of Project Ty invalidated. Ferrari of Alex Pixie invalidated. The Sloth currently P5, a 194.52. Going into Rasgas now. One 109.452 to beat, and it's a 109.691. McLaren coming over now, and that is Jax Daniels, 108.9. P3 for Jax. Oh, Al Newt has hit the wall at Rasgas. Sauber and Marvsky down and in the pits. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So Senna is your pole sitter. Cracking lap from Senna, a 108.716. Yeah, them top 3 positions fought out by Senna, DRS Swanson and Jack Daniels, but it's Senna who's took the 4s. with DRS Swanton in P2 and Jack Daniels in P3. So there'll be a slight break now before the cars take the formation lap, and I'll just go through your championship standings. So your drivers' standings, it's Jack Daniels on 115, then we've got DRS Swanton on 98. We've got Senna 17 on 86, Al Newt on 48, with Sloth and DRS Colin on 47. Then we got DRS Smudgett on 44. Lord Coleman on 40, DRS Syme on 34, Alex Pixie 31, King Kong 26, 50 Gent 20, Project Ty 18, Mavsky 12, Mr. Pickle on 11, Skippy and Centrofin on 9, Sainty on 6, Nico Rouge 6, and Easy Life on 5. Well, there is confirmation. Senna, Swanton and Jack Daniels top 3 with Terry's Reds, the Sloth, Al Newt and Lord Coleman your top 6. Right, your pro standings are Jack's Daniels on 121, DRS Swanton on 98, Senna on 92, Sloth on 68 with Al Newt on 58, Collins just a point behind on 57, Smudgett on 54, Syme 41, King Kong 32, Mavsky 18, Mr. Pickle 13 and Terry Reds on 9. Looking quite murky on track. Don't know if there's any rain forecast. It doesn't say there's any rain. It says 0% rain here in the information I've been given. Safety car risk 63%. I'd say 100. Right, your Pro-Am standings. Lord Coleman's top with 110, but only 2 points behind is Alex Pixie on 108. And then 50 Gents on 99. Project Ty 94. Skippy on 52. Sainty 85. Rouge Nico on 40. Easy Life 40. Centrofin 34. Late Bloomer 24. Michael JFF on 19. Blobby Butler on 12. J. Lowfield on 5. Your constructors led by McLaren. And that is Jack Daniels and Project Ty. And then the Haas are second. 46 points behind, that's the Haas. And then Ferrari 10 points behind Haas on 159. Just 3 points behind Ferrari are the Red Bulls with 156. 20 points behind the Red Bulls are the Cash App Racing Bulls on 136. 12 points behind the Cash Apps are the Alpines. Then we've got Aston Martin on 111. Merckx 3 points behind them on 108. Then Williams on 95 and Sauber on 80. I think there'll be a few changes in both all championships today, with quite a few teams just having the one driver. So Ferrari, McLaren, Sauber, Williams, all with 2 drivers should catapult themselves up that constructors table. The Red Bulls, we've got Lord Coleman driving solo, and the Ferrari's got DRS Syme and Alex Pixie. Mercedes, Sainty driving solo. McLaren have got full team with Jack Daniels and Project Ty. Alpine's got DRS Swanton driving solo, as is Al Newt in the Aston Martin. Saubers have got Late Bloomer and Mavsky in the Williams, Rouge Nico and Terry's Reds. Cash Apps Senna on his own, as well as the Sloth driving solo for the Haas. So the absolute record for this circuit, it was set on F1 24 Season 9. That was Craggy with a 109.232. He also holds the Pro lap record. Pro-Am's held by Al Newt, also on F1 24 Season 9 with a 110.762. As I said, safe car risk is 63% with 0% rain forecast, but you never know. Form guide, DRS Syme is man on form on this track. Season 1 he was first, Season 7 first, Season 9 fourth, and Season 11 fifth. No DNFs. But now I've said that, inedible. So, eagerly waiting this start of round 8 here at Monaco, Season 12, DRS Racing Championships. And I say it looks a bit murky out there, overcast. 38 laps. Not more action in the pits. All cars should be on the grid now, just waiting for the formation lap. Genty in the chat, evening, glad I couldn't make it tonight. I hate this track. Yeah, there's quite a few on your wavelength there, Genty. I'm the same. I love commentating on it because there's always plenty of action, but as for racing, I don't know what it is. Is it psychological that them walls suck you in? I don't know. I mean, I'm not the greatest driver, but perhaps do a clean lap every 10, 15 laps, me. I don't know if anybody else is worse than that, but them walls do suck you in. Well, they do me anyway. We're not too bad on the street tracks. We were on Saudi last night racing with the RC, and I'd done about 30 laps before I got my first warning and ended up with 6 seconds penalties. But yeah, other street tracks I'm not so bad at. Monaco's just got this just feeling that them makes you feel claustrophobic. Anyway, we're on our formation lap. We'll run through your grid one thing and another. But Senna is your pole sitter in the Cash App. Racing Bull is on the mediums. P2 DRS Swanton joining in on the front row. In the Alpine on mediums also. Jack Daniels, current championship leader in the McLaren. P3 is on mediums, as is Terry's Reds in the Williams. P4 joining Jack Daniels on the second row. Then the Sloth P5's on mediums with Al Newt in P6. And the Aston Martin just going around the hairpin now, with Lord Coleman in the Red Bull also on mediums. Marvsky had chosen the hard tyres in the Sauber in P8, and Sainty in the Mercedes is on mediums. Simon, I think, was crashed out somewhere. Project Ty in P11 in the McLaren is on mediums, as is Late Bloomer in the Sauber. Alex Pixie in the Ferrari in P13, and Nico Rouge also on mediums. So everybody on the mediums apart from Marvsky in P8 and DRS Time in P10. Senna, Swanton, Jacks, Terry's Reds approaching the grid. I'm going to make myself comfy and we'll jump on board with DRS Swanton at the start. Where are the lights? You can see them, but they're not coming on. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights are on. Alex Pixie's jump started. Got a 10-second drive-through penalty, but on board with DRS Swanton chasing down the Cash App of Senna into turn 1. And Jack Daniels has spun, the championship leader's spun and gone right down the circuit. We're on board with Marvsky in P8. Bit of contact there with Mercedes, and Marvsky gets shunted against the wall. And we're on with Project Ty. We've got a yellow flag. I'm sure that. Oh no, it's Nico Rouge who's come to. Oh, he's got no front wing either, and he's spun around, turned around the other way onto race action, looking down on Senna, who's in the lead from DRS Swanton in P2, Sloth P3, Terry's Reds P4 with Red Bull of Lord Coleman just behind down the same seat. Marvsky's Project Tight and Alex Pixie coming down in. We've got another yellow flag. I think that's Nico Rouge again. But coming around turn 12 is Tabac. And that's Senna with DRS Swanton and the Sloth, your top three. Terry's Reds in P4 with Lord Coleman. And there's a virtual safety car. Virtual safety car. DRS time is out. That's my fault. Telling you the form guide. Never DNF'd. That's my fault. So sorry, DRS time. Blame me for that. So I was just reading out the information I was given. Terry's Reds is in the pits, as is Marvsky and a Late Bloomer. Yeah, giving DRS time all the bump about him finishing first, season 1, season 7. Never DNF'd, and what happens? He DNFs on the first lap. That is my fault. I'll take full responsibility for that, DRS time. I apologise. So, virtual safety car out. Senna leads. Yeah, Swanson, and then the Sloth. And we've got a couple of cars in the pits. Nico has been done 10 seconds for speeding in the pits. So Alex Pixley got done for Jumpstart. On board with Senna, looking back at DRS Swanson. So we are back racing, and it's Senna who leads around the Marina section, and he's got a nice lead, nearly a second over DRS Swanson, with the Sloth and P3 Lord Coleman. With the Nico's out as well. Nico's retired as well. Unfortunate, we've lost Nico in the Williams. Oh, there goes Lord Coleman in the pits. Project Jack Daniels back up to P7 with the fastest lap, 1:15.4. Having crashed out on lap 1, he's up to P7 already. He's still got yellow flag, and that's at the tunnels. Well, just before the tunnel. Who is that stuck at the end? Turn 5, wait. Let's have a look. Who is it? Might be Nico, mightn't it? The Senna leads from DRS Swanson and the Sloth, and a 4-second gap them to Al Newt. Sainsbury 2 seconds behind Al with Project I, and Jack Daniels, who's really caught up to the fray, having had that spin out in lap 1. Keeping me out on DRS Swanson and Senna's battle at the front, but we've got a 3-way battle for P5. That's Sainsbury and the 2 McLarens of Project I and Jack Daniels. We'll jump up to your leaders, and Senna crosses the line, but Swanson with a 1:11.4 is the fastest lap, and right up close to the cash up is the Alpine now. Coming into turn 3 and 4, Casino. On to Hoyt at turn 5, and then the Grand Hotel hairpin. Coming up to us now, these two are putting a little bit of a gap between themselves and the Sloth. And it's turn 7, Bass into turn 8, which is Poitiers, and then the tunnel, which has turn 9 in it. These two battling out for the lead. We'll go on to Saint Jack Daniels and Project I in a minute. So going down into Nouvelle Chicane, it's Senna and DRS Swanson. We'll just nip down to Saint Jack Daniels and Project I. Will we see some action at the chicane? Unfortunately, Jack is not quite close enough. On to your leaders, just coming around to Rasgas, sorry. DRS flap of DRS Swanson opens, going down the start-finish straight. But Senna will have enough battery power to hold that lead. And then we'll run on with Sainsbury and Jack Daniels. No movement made on vote. Jax did get quite close to the back of the Mercedes, and we've got Marvsky and Alex Pixie battling out for P9, Ferrari versus Sauber. Getting close for P5 with Saint Seat, Jax Daniels and Project I. Into the tunnel, go to DRS Swanson and Senna, who are battling out for your lead. So Nico in the chat, rear wing damage, my race is done, yeah, any damage and it's no good here at Monaco. You need a 100% fit car, any damage and you're knackered. The Sloth catching these two as they're battling for the lead. We'll go down to Saint Seat, Jack Daniels, Project I getting a little bit left behind, battling out for P5 with these two. We've got a battle with the Ferrari and the Sauber of Marvsky and Alex Pixie. Marvsky will switch that power button plus open that DRS flap. And close the gap on the Ferrari. Back up to your leaders then as they're going through the tunnel. It's Senna and DRS Swanton with the Sloth not too far behind. That gap is definitely closing between the Sloth and your leading two. DRS Swanton trying to put pressure on to the Cash App, trying to push him into a mistake, which is easy to do around this track. So the start of lap 7, Senna leads from DRS Swanton with the Sloth not too far behind in P3. Al Newt P4 with Sainty P5 under pressure from Jack Daniels. Will there be any movement from Jack's here? Not close enough for a move. Oh, and that is Sainty in the wall, and that's his wing gone, and Jack Daniels up to P5. Sainty will be calling in the pits in a lap's time. No front wing, will be great on the straights, but terrible on the corners as we saw there. The glance the wall at turn 3. They go off Sainty, save his embarrassment. Alex Pixie P9, Marvsky P10, pushing Alex Pixie, trying to make him make a mistake. Sauber looking for a move, was he here at Kuwait? Around into the Grand Hotel hairpin. Put some pressure on Marvsky on Alex Pixie. So Sainty picks up a pen, and you can understand why with no front wheel. We'll be going in the pits, I'm sure. We'll go off these two now because we've got Senna and DRS Swanton coming into Mascara. Turn 3 onto Casino turn 4. Sloth still there. Saints is in the pits having that new wing put on. He's having a new set of tyres. Let's have a look. He's put hards on, which will see him to the end. And a new wing is placed on that Mercedes. And that Saints is rejoining in P10. Alex Pixie and Marvsky still battling out, going up the hill towards turn 3. Senna has pulled out a gap on DRS Swanton as they're coming into sector 3 on lap 8. Meeting up with traffic, and that is the Cash App. And then we'll go on to Alex Pixie and Marvsky, which is the only battle on track at the moment. Pat Lord Coleman and Sainty. Sainty down to P11 with them new hards on. Might need some warming up. This battle continues. DRS Swanton has dropped right out of DRS of Senna. Got quite a traffic jam coming around the tunnel now. Senna and Swanton as they met the Haas of Sloth was quite close. So Senna from Swanton, the Sloth, Al Newt in P4, Jack Daniels up into P5 and clear there. Project High is in P6 with Terry's Reds P7, Alex Pixie, Ferrari P8 still under pressure from Marvsky in the Sauber in P9, Lake Bloom with P10 with Sainty, that new wing on in P11 with Lord Coleman in P12. Up the hill again on lap 10. Senna leads DRS Swanton as Jack Daniels has gone in the pits. Now what's Jack's going to put on? He's going to put the hard tyres on till the end. Wise moves from the McLaren. And we'll come out in P6, I think. No, P7. So look at Alex Pixie and Marvsky with the McLaren. And Jack Daniels coming out in front of him. Jax holds on to P7. So three-way battle now for P7. That's Jax, Alex and Marvski. DRS Swanson back within DRS of Senna. So the difference of lines there for both drivers. Senna sort of hugging the side, Swanson cutting the corners. Is that why he's cut the time on the cash app? Jax Daniels, Alex, Pixie and Marvski. Round to back. And the likes up to P16 and 17. And then round into Raskas to 17. Jax Daniels ahead of Alex Pixie as Project Ty. Jack Daniels' teammate is gone to the pits. Fresh set of ads for the McLaren. DRS Swanson though is very close now to the back of Senna. They come out of the tunnel into the Nouvelle chicanes. So Sloth still there, but 3.5 seconds adrift as these two continue to battle. There's a bit of carbon on the track there. Hope nobody runs over that, picks up tyre damage. But DRS Swanson is putting pressure on Senna now. These are quite a good way clear of the Sloth in P3. But, race on now at the front. Senna and Swanson battling out on lap 12 of 39. Pit Frau New is changing them mediums and onto a fresh set of hards for the Aston Martin. So which one of these two is going to pit first? Terry's Reds in the Williams up to P4. Right, into the tunnel, the leading two, Senna and DRS Swanson. Not much between them either in the Drivers' Championships. There's 12 points separating the two. DRS Swanson in P2, Senna in P3. Senna's leading this one. DRS Swanson still piling the pressure. Will any of them make a move for the pits? No. Carrying on their battle on to lap 13. And we've got Jack Daniels all over the back of Al New with his fresh hards on board with Jax. Down that difficult left-hander there into the Nouvelle chicane. Looking from the helicopter now. It's Aston Martin of Al Newt leading Jack Daniels in P6. Go up to your leaders, Senna and Swanson, into the Grand Hotel hairpin. Sloth still 3 seconds adrift. Doesn't look 3 seconds on the camera, but tell you it is. Jax Daniels putting pressure on Al Newt. We're coming down into Nouvelle chicane. That's it. We're on board with DRS Swanson, chasing the cash app of Senna 17. Have a drink of coffee while I can. There he is, Swanson in the pits. Standing the cut on Senna. Let's see if it works. We'll go down to Jax Daniels and Al Newt around the Nouvelle chicane. Jax was a bit tentative around there then, as Project Ty picks up a 3-second penalty. So Mr. Swanson has put on a fresh set of hards. That will see him to the end. Jax has lost a little bit of time to Al Newt now. I don't know whether he made a mistake coming out of the tunnel, I don't know, but he hasn't down his time. We'll go on to Alex Pixie and Marvski, both on medium tyres battling out for P7. Ferrari is Al Pixie and Marski in the Sauber. The Project Tie sticking his nose in as well. And McLaren and Will Coleman. Ooh, side by side action as they're coming round. Turn 5, then into the into the Nouvelle chicane. 3 cars side by side. Bing bang bosh. Alex Pixie, Marski and Project Tie 7, 8 and 9. As Senna and the Sloth both pit. Will want to come out on. Oh, and the Sauber spin, Sigmund McLaren with him. That's Marski and Project Tie at this battle with Alex Pixie for P7. So we'll go back up to Al Newton, Jack Daniels, and DRS Swanson. That undercut has worked. And he's now got a 2.5 lead on Senna. The Sloth, 5 seconds adrift. Project Tie in the pits. Sure we'll be having some sort of repairs. Marski also. But, things are hotting up now. We've had our first pit stops. Still a couple of drivers yet to pit. But DRS Swanson leaves this Monaco Grand Prix 15 laps in of 39 on hard tyres to the end. Pitted a lap before Senna and it worked. That undercut took him back into the lead. Let's go on to Jack Daniels and Al Newt. Blackman out for P5. Championship leader Jack Daniels in P6. Al Newt in P5 in the Aston Martin. Coming around to 13 and 14, 15 and 16. Then into Raskas. Turn 17. So frustrating for drivers behind cars. There's no places to really pass safely. To these two catching up to who is that in that car in front? It's Terry's Reds in P4. Jack Daniels and Al Newt certainly caught up to Terry's Reds. Will Coleman up to P9, Alex Pixie P10. And in the pits, coming round into the tunnel, chasing Terry's Reds in the Williams, Al Newton, the Aston Martin, Jack Daniels in the McLaren. Swanson leads by over a second to Senna. The Sloth 6 seconds of drift in P3, Terry's Reds 7 seconds of drift in P4. And then we're on to this battle with Al Newton in P5, Jack Daniels in McLaren P6. And late bloomer, right, 20 seconds of drift. Terry's Dreads is Iron P4 coming round into Raskas. Al Newt and Jack Daniels. As late bloomer picks up a penalty. This is well there, does the McLaren. Senna losing a few tenths on DRS Swanson on lap 17. 1 second, 1.3 seconds, 1.4 seconds a gap. The Sloth 6 seconds adrift. P3, and we've got Terry's Reds, Al Newt and Jack Daniels. This battle we are looking at now. 8.5 seconds behind the Sloth in P3. Daniel pushing that Aston Martin of Al Newt. On board with Jack's coming out of the tunnel into the Nouvelle chicane. Have to get that right. Have to get it right. Same seat. Pushing the Sauber of a late bloomer P7. Lord Coleman just coming into the tunnel in P9 with Alex Pixie P10. Project Tie P11 and Marski in P12. Back to your leader though, DRS Swanson 1.3 is the gap. Have a look at your movers and groovers. So DRS Swanson up 1, Senna's down 1, up 2 is the Sloth, Terry's Reds as he was in P4, Al Newt up 1, Jack Daniels down 3, Lake Bloomer up 5, Saintsy up 1, Lord Coleman down 2, Alex Pixie up 3, Project Tie as he was, and Marski down 4. Penalties, we've got Late Bloomer, Saintsy, Lord Coleman and Project I all on 3. 10 drivers of the 12 remaining are on hard tyres, just 2 on the mediums. Could that be good news for Project Tyre Marsky? Currently P11 and 12. They've got the faster option medium tyres to go for. DRS Swanton will 1:11.2 is your fastest lap up yet, and that's on 5 lap old hards. So quicker than the medium tyre. We'll go down to that battle for P4. Terry's Reds, Al Newt and Jax Daniels. Still no change there with Al Newt leading Jax behind Terry's Reds in the Williams, but Aston Martin quite close of Al Newt. Coming into turn 3 and Casino turn 4. Another battle close behind, and that's Late Bloomer and Saintsy. Up the hill to the Casino. Sauber leads the Mercedes. Jax is closing in on Al Newt again as they are in the quest to catch the Williams of Terry's Reds. Al Newt, we were on board with that there. We saw him skip the corner. Fair witness to that we were. And we're on the start finish straight for lap 20 for these 3. And Jack Daniels is having a look on the outside, and the Aston Martin's cuts inside, has the inside line and just misses out there. Good driving from the pair as Terry Reds moves over. What's happened to Terry's? He's moved over and let these 2. Oh, it might be his 18 lap old lads might have something to do with it. Obviously knows that these are quicker tired drivers, but I think we're in for a bit of action with the Aston Martin of Al Newt and Jack Daniels' is 3-wheeled McLaren. There's he hit that curve coming into the tunnel on 3 wheels for a split second or 2. But good at Terry's Reds that was to move over and let these 2 quicker drivers, well, we've got quicker tyres as Terry's Reds tyres are 18 laps, 10 laps older than Al Newt's and 8 laps older than Jack Daniels is. 21 laps has gone. So Terry's Reds go in the pits. No, he's carrying on. Bless him. Might slip onto the hard, soft. Might do Terry's Reds. Is that what's in his mind? But at the front, DRS Swanton still leads, but that leads down to just over a second with Senna in P2. The Sloth 7 seconds adrift in P3. Then we've got this battle with Al Newt, Jax Daniels. Now Terry Reds has dropped out of it. We'll stay on board with Jax and Al Newt. Coming into the Casino again, the tunnels again. Marvsky with a 3-second penalty in P12. Senna within DRS of DRS Swanton now. Up the hill on lap 22 into Casino. Race on with these 2. I'll take a little sip of lubrication. Al Newt and Jack Daniels still. I think Jax will be going to sleep tonight with that Aston Martin's diffuser. in his eyes. Even with his eyes shut, I think he'll see that Aston Martin's diffuser and rear end. Coming on into the tunnel. Pressure on Al Newt from the McLaren. A little bit of pressure on the Alpine of Swanton as well, with Senna closing in on the Alpine. We'll jump on to that battle. They're coming up the hill for the 23rd time into Casino. Alpine still leads the Cash Out Racing Bull. We've got the Sloth having a lonely race in P3 with Al Newt leading Jack Daniels for P4. And Terry's Reds in P6 with Late Bloomer 19 seconds adrift, with Saintsy within DRS of the Sauber. We've got Lord Coleman in P9 in the Red Bull, with the Ferrari's Alex Pixie putting pressure on Lord Coleman. Project Tie in P11, Kotmarski in P12. Leaders then coming around to Marina section, then into Rasgas. Here's your leader, DRS Swanton in the Alpine, with the Senna's Cash App Racing Bull. As Jack Daniels has actually taken Al Newt at the just going into the tunnel. We missed that move. Well, that's Jack Daniels up to P4. Some 30 seconds off your leader. Quite a little gaggle of cars coming around into the tunnel now. Well, that's Lord Coleman in P9 with Alex Pixie and Project Tie closing in on them faster medium tyres with Marsley following on in P12. J.R. Swanton coming around into the tunnel, not far behind your back markers at all, these two. I think they might catch them up in a lap or two, and that could cause a little bit of fun for us watching, not for them driving. We'll be getting the blue flag. It's safe, difficult to pass here. Coming round into turn 15 and 16, and on to Rasgas, turn 17, 18 and 19, and then you start finish straight, and on to lap 25 for these two. I don't know if Senna hit the wall there with his tyres, but it's no odds at all as he carries on with the pressure on the Alpine into Casino. Jack Daniels already pulled out a second and a half on Al Newt in P5. It's still some 22 seconds adrift of the top three. Saintsy and Late Bloomer swapping positions. Oh, what's happened there? Someone's gone in the pits, yeah. Late Bloomer's gone in the pits. That's why we haven't got two cars battling. Michael. Alex Pixie and Lord Coleman. The only battle out on track apart from the leading two. The Ferrari Alex Pixie looking all over the back of the racing. Come on, Mike. The Red Bull. A little. This could be a four-way battle shortly. Lord Coleman, Alex Pixie, Project Tie, and Marvsky. Just jump up to the front and come back onto this battle as it progresses. J.R. Swanton still leads Senna here at Monaco, round 8 of season 12. DRS Racing Championships into the Nouvelle Chicane on lap 26. J.R. Swanton from Senna in P2. Just saw the Sauber of Late Bloomer, I think, just behind. But these two are catching up to Oh, Safety's up to P6 as Terry's Red pits onto mediums. Well, lap 26 to 39. Outside the soft side, I would have think. We'll see. I'm just a commentator. But this is a nice little battle accumulating now as the leaders are catching them up. This is your battle for P8. Lord Coleman in the Red Bull from Alex Pixie in the Ferrari. Project Ties there in the McLaren, and Marski in the Sauber. Ooh, a little bit. The McLaren and Project Tie all over Alex Pixie there. These battlers aren't far behind Terry Reds either. Lord Coleman from Alex Pixie, Project Tie and Marski. I'm wondering whether Jack Daniels might Alex Pixie with a penalty. I'm just wondering whether Jack Daniels might just snip in, put some softs on for the fastest lap. But your leaders are catching up to this gaggle. Lord Coleman, Alex Pixie, Project Tie and Marski, and the leaders of DRS Swanton and Senna coming in on this battle. They're only 20 yards adrift of the battling for now, so this could cause a little bit of action. And already Swanton is up to the back of the Sauber, Ferrari and McLaren. Oh, that's Senna spun. That's the battle for P1 over and done with, and he's lost his front wing. And I don't think Senna is going to be very happy because he's lost P2 to the Sloth. The Sloth up to P2 and a half. I thought there'd be a bit of action with the back markers. But, oh dear. Senna's picked up a penalty as well. Senna's race has turned into a nightmare. Sainty leads the Williams of Terry's Reds, and Lord Coleman leads Project Tie and Alex Pixie. Romarski in the Sauber looming Senna with a 10-second speed penalty in the pit lane. And he's out. Senna has retired in the pits. What can I say? Speechless for Senna. Speechless. That's Jack Daniels up to P3. I don't think he was expecting that. Didn't think he was expecting his Almute changes for fresh mediums. 10 laps to go in. Oh, I can't go over that, Senna. Can't go over it. Such a shame. Such a shame. Well, let's go on this battle for P8. Well, Lord Coleman is only a second in front. Project Tie, Marski and Alex Pixie, late bloomer, also in on the action. So we're going rough. So we have got 5 cars battling it out for P8, P7 at the moment. But we could have 6 cars battling out for P6 in a short while. Pit for Jack Daniels, could be softs in the fastest lap for McLaren. I did call it, but it's put fresh mediums on. So I didn't call it, did I? Saints in P6, Lord Coleman in P7 with Project Tie, P8, Marski, P9, Alex Pixie and Late Bloomer. So 5 car battle for P7. Lord Coleman, Project Tie, Marski, Alex Pixie and a Late Bloomer. only battle out on track, and it's a 5-car battle as the McLaren of Project Ty hits the wall at Rasgas. That's Mavsky upper place, Project Ty down to P10. A little bit of shunt there from Late Bloomer as Project Ty slowed into that turn 1 corner. Mavsky has lost a second to Lord Coleman. I'm sure he'll make that time up. Get back within a DRS of the Red Bull. There he is, back inside DRS. Pixie, Project Ty has dropped back a bit, and I'm wondering if he has got damage. Late Bloomer is in AI. Don't think I've got Late Bloomer as a friend to invite. I'll have a look. No, I haven't. Sorry, Late Bloomer. Mavsky with a penalty. I think Late Bloomer's back in. No, he isn't. 12 seconds the gap then to DRS Swanton in the lead to the Sloth in P2. Jax Daniels in P3 with a fresh set of mediums on Al Newt. Fresh-ish mediums in P4 with Terry's Reds on 5-lap old medium, 23-lap old hards for Saintsy. Low Coleman, Saintsy is in A as well. No, I can't send them an invite. Low Coleman then from Mavsky. Going around the Bell chicane. Alex Pixie's there as well. Late Bloomer's 2 seconds adrift. With Project Ty having been in pits and put a fresh set of straps on in P11. Mavsky's DRS flap opens up, closes the gap on Low Coleman's Red Bull, lap 33 off 39, and the Sloth is in the pits, 17 lap old hards, and comes out. What's the difference between himself and Jax Daniels? Ooh, Al Newt down in P4 with a pen. So nothing much happening up front. All the actions here for P7, Low Coleman, Mavsky and Alex Pixie. Late Bloomer just out of DRS in P10. Lord Coleman leading the Pro-Am Championships as we speak, with a 2-second lead over Alex Pixie. Alex is a couple of places behind. Going into Casino. Oh, the Sauber does close up there a bit later on the braking. Mavsky goes alongside. But he's going for... No, I thought he was going for a dive. Oh, little mistake from Lord Coleman. Under pressure from the Sauber, holds on to P7, but the Sauber will have the inside line here. Ooh, good driving, good driving. All drivers have got pens apart from the DRS Swanton, the Sloth, Jax Daniels and Terry's Reds. 7 of the remaining drivers with pens, 4 without. Marski putting a lot of pressure on the Red Bull of Lord Coleman. Lord Coleman holding his nerve. Sauber pulls out to the right hand side. Does he make a move? They switcheroo in into turn one. Not close enough to the move is a Sauber. And look at Alex Pixie's Ferrari. And the other Sauber of Late Bloomer could throw a tea towel. Oh, is he going on the inside? I thought it was going on the inside. The sloth. Oh, there we go. Contact, but he's through. He's through. He's got a hard drive here. If you've got to make a move, and that's exactly what Marski did. And he's into P7 and get the push from the Red Bull now. On the casino hairpin into the tunnel. And it's Marski into P7, Lord Coleman 8, Alex Pixie 9 with Late Bloomer. Not out of it in P10, but what I have seen, the Project Tie has pulled. Oh, Terry's Reds has passed Al Newt, who's gone in the pits. Al Newt's in the pits for a fresh set of softs and a new front wing. Project Tie has definitely taken, it was 22 seconds 2 or 3 laps ago, so it's taken 7 seconds out of Late Bloomer in P10. That's Project Tie on them fast soft tyres. Al Newt will come out of the pits. Now this will be interesting to keep an eye on. Al Newt has come out 6 seconds behind Saintsy on 27 lap old hours. 6.9 seconds. Al Newt on Saintsy. We'll keep an eye on that with 3 laps to go, because that gap will definitely close. But one gap that's not closing is the gap between the first, DRS Swanton, coming down the tunnel into Nouvelle Chicane on lap 36 of 39 over the slot. He's 27 laps adrift, 27 seconds adrift, having pitted 3 laps ago for mediums. Jack Daniels 23 seconds adrift of the slot in P3. Terry's Reds P4, Sainty P5 with Al Newt already down to 5.5, so that's a second and a half in half a lap. So Al Newt closing in on Sainty. So Alex Pixie, Lord Coleman and Late Bloomer battling out to P8. Marski 2 seconds up the road in P7. Lovely shot here without Pixie. He's coming up on. Oh, I thought he was going to make the move on the Red Bull. He did lift a little bit. Oh, he went for the switcheroo at turn 1 to make contact with the Red Bull's rear tyre. Alex Pixie definitely putting pressure on the Red Bull. Going into Casino. Oh, Coleman soon caught up. Project Tie down to 12.7 seconds, and Al Newt's down to 3.9 from 6.9, so he's made up 3 seconds in a lap and a half. As Al Newt on Saintsy. DRS Swanton, leads. And Alex Pixie, unfortunate for Alex, picks up another penalty. With 4 drivers without penalties, are you leading 4? That's DRS Swanton on his penultimate lap from the slot. Just 2 corners away from starting his last lap. With Jack Daniels coming down through the tunnel into Nouvelle Chicane. Terry's Reds just going into the tunnel with Saintsy under pressure from the soft-tyred Al Newt. Marski in P7 with Alex Pixie under pressure from Lord Coleman. We've got Late Bloomer, and Project Tie has made a mistake somewhere. He's gone in AI, and as I looked before, fortunately I'm not on friends list. Project Tie flies past teammate Jack Daniels, who's in P3, and I think he's quite happy with that result after where he was after the first lap. DRS Swanton is on his last lap. leading this Monaco round 8 of season 12. He's already into casino for the final time. Into heat. Turn 5 and into the Grand Hotel hairpin. Project I has picked up a penalty. Oh dear. But look at Al Newt all over the back of Saintsy. Coming into the Grand Hotel hairpin. Saintsy will do very well to hold off Al Newt's rocket ship Aston Martin with these soft tyres on. Swanson though coming around into sector 3 for the final time. Don't want to lose this overtake, but DRS Swanson around Rasgas, around turn 19, and that is race win for the Alpine of DRS Swanson. Class win there from the Alpine driver with the sloth going around into out of the marine section into Rasgas. That's a sloth with a tremendous drive. Oh, Marsky is out in P7, but he will get classified. There's the sloth in P2. Jax Daniels will be coming, well, he's only just coming out of the tunnel in P3, but Marsky will get classified. I hope he does. Going all at that time and making a mistake at the last corner. To stay on board with Jax as he goes over for P3. Terry's Reds with a P4. Then we'll have Saintsy and Al Newt. There's Jax over. And quite entertaining Monaco. Well, Jax Daniels gets driver of the day on the game. And here we go. Here is your classifieds coming up now. We'll just have a look at the podium. There is the podium with DRS Swanson on the top spot, with the sloth in P2 and Jax Daniels with his comeback drive from that P1 hell mistake in P3. So we'll just get your classified results. There we go. DRS Swanson with the win and the sloth in P2 with the fastest lap of a 1:10.329. Just make a note of that. Yeah, DRS Swanson with the win. Sloth on P2. Jack Daniels P3 with Terry's Reds in P4. Saintsy P5. Al Newt P6. Alex Pixie in P7. Lord Coleman P8 with Late Bloomer P9. Project I in P10. And Marvsky will be classified in P11. Yeah, entertaining race. The top 4 all penaltyless, and like I say, very entertaining race here at Monaco for round 8. Round 9 next week is at the British iconic Silverstone track. Can't wait for that. Thanks for joining me tonight, though, and we'll see you next week at Silverstone for round 9. Thanks for tuning in on chat. Making contact is appreciated. So without further ado, I shall say goodbye and I'll see you next week. Bye for now. Oh, welcome F125. Have fun.